that you gain after speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. You have just tuned in to Where's the Love? I am your host. I am Stephanie Hawkenhall. Joining me is my co-host, my son, Gene Williams.
Hey, you better straighten up that face. You look a little frowny at first. I'm like, what are you doing? You look like you mad or something. You mad or something? You mad? You be mad?
I had some stuff popping off here that I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. This ain't right. What? No.
Yeah.
So I was trying to straighten it out before I came on. Okay, I'm straight. Here I am. I am live. Where's the love? Oh, again, thank y'all for tuning in. We love to be silly. That's what we do. That's how we roll. You got a bright light, right? Oh, now you move.
I know. I'm trying to keep my big head in between the light and the camera. Yeah, my dome piece, my super dome.
Okay, y'all. Mark said they are silly rabbits. Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
So, y'all, we have been talking about gaslighting. This is something. So, along with bullying, narcissistic behavior and personality, I think I said bullying, gaslighting, all of this stuff is bigger than
quite expensive.
So we're talking about gaslighting. And Mark said, don't we see gaslighting every day from Elon and Don? Well, that's what they do. That's how they roll.
That's the game of politics, period.
Yep. So, y'all, if you're watching us, you should be watching us either live on my LinkedIn channel, Stephanie Hawkenholm, or you should be watching us on our YouTube channels, Love Misunderstood Institute, or Premier Fitness 0210, or you should be watching us on TV, just straight watching us on TV, on Amazon Fire, or what's the other one? Lord, Roku. Okay, so if you're watching us on Amazon or Roku right now, Amazon Fire or Roku, you should search PODTV space LIVE, and you can watch us live right now only on TV while we're live. Otherwise, on those other platforms, you can watch us at any time. Please, feel free to respond, ask questions. We're here for you, and we're here to answer your questions. So you want to add anything?
Hey, I'm just looking forward to unpacking gaslighting, and this is just a tactic that people with narcissistic personality disorder utilize often, and it spans so much of our lives as quote unquote human beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, but as spiritual beings having a human experience, we experience a lot of gaslighting on different levels. And it's important that we unpack it so we know what to look for.
Yes.
And know how to counteract it.
Yes.
And that's a huge thing.
Because if you don't know how to counteract it, you're going to experience it more and more and more. Because when you don't speak to a situation or speak up about a situation, or speak up about a situation, then you're going to be pulled in more and more and more to that situation. So once you learn how to handle it, how to deal with it, you know how it looks, then you're able to deal with that situation, and you're able to build boundaries. That's the big thing, building boundaries. And people know, oh, they know what I'm doing, so I can't do that to them. No, you can't. So go ahead.
So actually, I think it would be dope And you obviously don't have to give the specifics, but you've been dealing with a situation. Excuse me. Mm, I, mm, I got the belches. um, but no, you experienced like recently the um, you've experienced having someone show you that they only want to deal with you on their terms. Now, you don't have to give the details. Like you, please don't give the details. But however, just give them the synopsis of what you experience, so they understand that like this stuff happens every day in every way.
Yep. Yep. So we're gonna get go back some episodes. We've been talking about this for a few episodes. So you want to go ahead and give a recap of the last episode and then go into this episode?
For sure. All right. So on the last episode, 101, 101 episodes. My goodness, 101. That's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of
Yes.
work.
A lot of content as well.
Right. Facts. All right. So we shared information on why we should address gaslighting and why it matters. We also gave you key reasons why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial. So if you'd like to hear more about that, go back to episode 101. 101. My goodness.
Yep.
Like 101, that's a lot of work.
Yep.
It's a lot of work. But you can check that out on our YouTube channels, Love Misunderstood, Love Misunderstood Institute, or Premier Fitness 0210 to watch a replay. And again, we have so much other content. So, that's just a little tidbit, little nugget of knowledge that we've
Yep.
displayed over these 100 and now it's 102 episodes. My goodness, geez, my goodness. We have been there and back 102 times. What are we doing now?
Mark said, "Is that like a century plus one?"
Yes, I believe it is, sir. I do believe it is. But yeah,
So,
so the situation that you were dealing with, I think it's a good lead in. Like I said, you don't have to give the details, obviously, but I think it's important to understand that, like, well, for the crowd to understand that it's it's in familial situations, it's in business situations, it's in romantic situations where you deal with gaslighting and people's show of their narcissistic personality disorder, only caring about themselves and anyone else is less than considerable, which is deplorable as a person.
yep.
But please go ahead.
Okay. So, we gave you 21 key reasons why confronting and addressing gaslighting is crucial. We have five more, five, not 10, five reasons to share. So fostering personal empowerment is another reason why you should confront and address gaslighting. So in fostering personal empowerment, gaslighting thrives on control and disempowerment. Confronting it allows you to reclaim your voice, establish boundaries, and regain your sense of agency. So, number 23, cultivating inner peace. The psychological toll of gaslighting often creates inner turmoil. Addressing it brings a sense of resolution and peace, helping you move forward with confidence and clarity. And then nurturing, number 24, nurturing self compassion. Gaslighting often makes victims blame themselves for the manipulator's behavior. Healing from it encourages self forgiveness and compassion, which are crucial for emotional and psychological recovery. And then breaking cycles of abuse. Gaslighting can perpetuate abusive patterns across generations or relationships. Addressing it interrupts these cycles, fostering healthier dynamics for yourself and others. And then supporting holistic wellness. Healing from gaslighting benefits the mind, body, and spirit, creating harmony between these aspects. It enables you to approach life with renewed energy, confidence, and purpose. And then creating empowered communities, lastly. When individuals address gaslighting, they contribute to a culture that values authenticity, respect, and empathy. This collective shift discourages manipulative behaviors and creates a safer environment for everyone. So, in summary, gaslighting thrives on silence and confusion. Addressing it shines a light on manipulation, dismantles its power, y'all listening, and protects both individual and collective well being. By confronting gaslighting, we create safer, healthier, and more empowering spaces for everyone. You deserve to live in truth, clarity, and emotional safety. Addressing gaslighting as a step toward reclaiming your power and thriving. You want to add anything?
Good.
Okay, go ahead and do the next part, please.
All right. So here are some additional reasons why addressing gaslighting is vital to holistic health and overall health. Gaslighting affects multiple dimensions of a person's well-being, and confronting it is a fundamental step towards recovery. Here are more reasons why addressing gaslighting is critical. First is educating yourself. Understand that tactics, understand gaslighting tactics to identify them early. Like they always leave tidbits, they always leave Easter eggs to their ultimate goal if they're gaslighting you. Number two says seek validation. Share your experiences with trusted friends and counselors. And and this way you get a unbiased uh, account of the situation for you to be able to like identify, okay, I was gaslighted at this time, or whatever. Just it helps you be aware of where you are in this particular space and time. Number three is strengthen boundaries. Politely disengage or limit interaction with gaslighters. And I know that very well. Like man, you can't, when gaslighters try to take you to a space of constantly trying to explain yourself, they have more opportunities to manipulate and control the narrative by ultimately just adding their own narrative to it and trying to make it seem like their narrative of the situation is the end all be all, and it discounts or even twists your the true uh perspective of the situation, um and that it's true crazy making at its best. um so number three states that you should strengthen boundaries, politely disengage or limit interactions with gaslighters. It's very important, especially when they start to go overboard. Um, Number four is stay grounded in facts. keep records, I've said a million times on these shows. Document, document, document.
Yep.
Keep records, keep records of events, conversations, or agreements, and that's so crucial because they will twist and manipulate and distort as much as they can because that's the only ground that they have to stand on.
Right.
Number five, focus on self-care. Build resilience by prioritizing mental and emotional health. And you cannot contribute to the world positively when you're an empty vessel. Fill yourself up with love and affirmations and things that make you a better version of yourself before you give to other people.
Yeah.
Number six is challenge isolation. Stay connected to supportive individuals or communities. So just to give more to that, um, find yourself a great support system of people who genuinely, authentically, and unapologetically and unconditionally love and respect and honor you as you are as an individual.
Right.
We all deserve that. Like we all deserve to have a support system that honors us as we are and not as we quote unquote should be or whatever. You know, you need people around you who love you for even the broken parts of you.
Right.
Like that's important because we all are going through things. Like we are all in our own way broken.
Yep. And
And
wounded.
it's right, exactly. And we need to acknowledge that. Like
Yep.
the society tries to, I mean, it's getting closer to the paradigm where we acknowledge that we all have issues, but it's not like it's still like this overwhelming um pseudo expression of like, oh, I'm woke now. No, woke does not mean I've accomplished everything. Woke means that I realize and I'm awake to the uh the lack of knowledge in certain areas.
Yeah.
And like there's a huge dichotomy or juxtaposition of where we are, like the strengths that we have and the weaknesses we have. Like the ultimate goal is to bring the weaknesses up to the aspect of strength. And
So that there's balance.
exactly, exactly. So there's no true weakness once you continue to grow your strengths and also grow your weaknesses, two parts where there's strengths. Like you created a paradigm of a person who is completely balanced, and that should be the goal.
Yeah. And I want to backtrack to the focus on self care. Um, and the reason I want to backtrack is because sometimes we don't realize. I mean, you gave the examples of affirmations, and loving yourself. Um, if you don't do that, and then you mentioned, filling yourself up, but if you don't do that, then you have no strength to give to yourself. So when you
And anyone
affirm your,
else.
huh,
That's it, and anyone else. Yeah,
yeah. So when you affirm yourself and when you love yourself, you're filling your cup, and then you can pour out of your cup, out of a full cup to give to somebody else because you have some to give, but you have to take care of yourself. You have to. If you don't, you can't help nobody else. And it goes to that um, thing about being on the airplane, put the oxygen mask on yourself first.
first.
Once you do that, then you're able to breathe, continue to breathe, and be able to focus to put the mask on somebody else. Otherwise,
Right.
you can't help somebody else.
Right.
So, self care is of the utmost importance in order for you to excel in life, in order for you to stay alive, so to speak, in life, to stay woke, as you mentioned, earlier. We
I
have
stay
to.
woke. I
So I
stay
just wanted
woke.
to go back to that and talk about the importance of that self care. It's so important. So you want to add anything else to that?
Now, you're right. It's very important to take that time to focus specifically on building yourself up every day. Like
Yeah,
literally every day,
yeah,
you have to find something to fill you up because the world outside of ourselves, even though it is a reflection of ourselves, still pulls so much from us,
yeah,
um, requires so much of us. So if you can start your day, especially if you can start your day with things that fill you up, then when you go out into the world and provide service for other people, however it shows up in your life, like you create a healthy stream of betterness for for everyone around you and yourself included, because you first thing you do, you wake up and you fill yourself up.
yeah,
Then it's easier to give other people the love that they desire and deserve
yeah,
because you gave it to yourself first.
yeah,
And then you create that type of environment for yourself once you've given that to yourself. You got to give to yourself first before you give to others. Like that's just a spiritual practice I think people neglect in this day
yeah,
and
yeah. Uh, and then I was just thinking
age.
that the scripture says, love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Love yourself, right,
So if you haven't been able to love yourself, you can't possibly love your neighbor.
right,
So, you know, and how do you do that? By feeding yourself good things, good thoughts, um, good, physical food, good spiritual food, good mental food, good,
yep,
you know, food like that. What's going to build
right,
me up mentally? What's going to build
right,
me up spiritually? What's going to build me up emotionally?
right,
Find those things and feed on those things and eat of those things. And
right,
then you'll be able to help somebody else in whatever way that is, emotionally, physically, psychologically, all of those ways. So
right,
you have to give it to you first. So those are ways
yep,
to love yourself first. Um,
right, yep.
Go ahead.
Because the love that we give to others is supposed to be a reflection of the love we give to ourselves.
Yep.
If you can't give yourself love first, then how can you truly love someone else? It's virtually impossible because you have no love to reference within you,
Yeah.
and if you give from a place of emptiness, then you will give from a place of looking to be refilled from that expression.
Yeah.
But if you give from a place that is full, then it's easy to give fully without worrying about being replenished. And that's why they say you love yourself first.
Yep.
Self-love is the first rule.
Yep. So hopefully, some of that information helped you, on about, loving yourself. So, where are we at?
How?
Go ahead, and then
All
I
right.
think I'm missing a whole section.
All right, so how to help someone experiencing gaslighting. So the first rule of thumbs is to believe them. Validate their feelings and perceptions without judgment. Number two is provide perspective. Gently point out inconsistencies or patterns in the gaslighter's behavior. Number three is offer resources. Recommend books, articles, or counseling services. Do you have your books anywhere near, Ma?
No, I don't.
So can you just name them off?
So the name of my book is it's about bullying, but the name of it is Trouble on the Inside, What's Going On. And it's talking about trouble on the inside of you, and how things are going on the, I mean, we see things physically, but then things are going on spiritually as we see them physically. And so that's what the book is talking about. So there's bullying going on inside of you as well as on the outside of you. So it's just helping you to understand what that looks like and what it feels like, uh, physically, um, and spiritually. Um, so it's basically the spiritual battle. And then I have a workbook. Um, I can't bullied heart. Um, um, I can't even remember the name of my book.
Well,
But it's talking about, it's a workbook, and it's about being bullied. And so what it is breaking down the different types of bullying and how bullying impacts you, impacts your life, how it affects your life. There's a bunch of different activities in the workbook to help you um, do a deep dive, of being bullied or being a bully. And so that's what bullied heart. Uh, I can't even remember the name of it. So anyway, I have that workbook. Sorry, y'all. My mind is on a couple different things, but anyway, so I have that book, and then I also did help write an anthology when George. I can't even think of his name. Dang, I want to say George Foreman.
no, not Joe Schulman.
Uh, but anyway, so I have some different resources. If you go to my website, Love Misunderstood institute.org, you will see those books there. Um, my mind is not on those
Mhm.
books, and so I can't even think of what they are right now.
Right.
Um, but
So
go ahead.
the books, are the resources I'm looking for are the the workbook in your book that are speaking specifically about like how a person could counteract the interactions with a person who's gaslighting them, whether it be personal or professional or romantic or however. You got a book and a workbook, and then also there are books like uh, was it Stop Walking on Eggshells? That talks about the dealings with people with narcissistic personality disorder, and you have to constantly like walk on eggshells, not knowing when they're gonna flip out, basically, and giving you the tools to uh, circumnavigate those emotional tsunamis that they drop off on you. Because that's what it is. You just be like, you be chilling, and all of a sudden it's like whoosh, and what is
Yeah,
going on? And that's literally what it is. Like you get caught off guard. You don't know. You try to rationalize things when they, you know, and it's unfortunate with a person who's a gaslighter. When they have good times, it's like you you feel a slight relief, but it's also quite terrifying because on the back end of this uh, finite expression of uh, ecstasy is going to be counteracted by an overwhelming tsunami state of chaos and degradation. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be
yeah.
ugly. And you like, can I enjoy myself? You want to be up here, yay! He's like, hey,
Yeah, that's a horrible place for a person to be. So
yeah,
the name of the book is the name of the workbook is Bullies Are Heart is Bullies. A heart examination is needed.
yeah,
So that's the
yeah,
name of the book. But it is so very hard when you're in a relationship or around somebody that's like that. You don't, you're always on edge. And who in the heck wants to live like that? I mean, that's a horrible place to be, for the person that's experiencing that. Now,
right,
for the person that's creating the experience, they're loving what they're seeing because they want you to be scared to death. They want you to, to not know what their next step is or what they're gonna do next. And so they're enjoying seeing you living in fear, and that's just
right.
horrible.
Yep, man. Don't get me started on talking about like how I feel about people like that. Like I got some choice words that are not gonna fly on your show.
So let's go to the next part.
Uh, that might be best. Yeah, I think you made the right move.
So did you do in summary?
No, no, we still got to do be patient.
Oh, did I skip a
Yeah.
whole part?
Now we did offer resources. That was what I was talking about your books. Now we had be patient.
I'm lost.
I got you. All right. So last but not least, be patient. Gaslighting victims often
Oh,
feel stuck. Your support can make a difference over time, and I swear, as a person who dealt with gaslighting on so many different levels, like this is very true. Find your tribe. Find those who love you genuinely, support you genuinely, unconditionally, and do what they can to make sure that you are in a good space. Like for a person who's dealing with constant gaslighting, you need a support system where they constantly checking you. Hey, we talked about XYZ yesterday. How you doing today? Okay, so and if they know you're going through something particular in that particular time, okay, so we talked about this. How are you now? Like, thankfully, you, Danica, Chris, BA, Mike, like y'all reach out to me every day. If y'all know I'm going through something, y'all be like, hey, how did this go? And like, there's no way that I could even, I mean, I'm not expressing it now, but I'm saying there's like no way that I can fully ever express how much like that means to me for y'all to
yeah,
reach out to me and check on me because like sometimes I, you know me I think deeply and I feel deeply, so I'll go into a rabbit hole on this stuff and be like looking up hours later and be like, why am I feeling like this?
yeah.
And it's like
And
y'all asking me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Well, so y'all asking about like where I am with a particular situation, like it helps me go from a start point to a part where like, okay, I'm thinking about this, I've dealt with this amount of it, and I'm here with it now. And where do I need to go next? And that actually helps a lot. It helps me really process, uh, man, just what I'm going through, the traumas I experience and the chaos that life brings when you consciously made a decision to be a different person and not allow certain things with certain people. Like, yeah. So thank you all.
You're welcome, and that shows growth. Um, that shows growth, and it's huge. When you can see your growth. I remember
Yeah,
when I used to when this would happen in the past, and I used to respond like this, and I don't
right,
do that no more. I don't even feel that way anymore. Actually, when's the last time I did feel like I used to feel about it?
right,
You know,
right.
so to see that growth and to feel and experience that growth, is huge.
Yeah.
Um, and I love it when you know, are able to say, you know, well, actually, in a good headspace with that. So, and it's
Right.
not just saying that. I mean, I can hear it, you know,
Right.
even if it's you, you know, even if you put it in a text message, I can
Right.
still hear the tone, you know,
Right.
and I'm like, okay, he's okay with it, so I should be okay with it, you know,
Right.
or I
Right.
got to do better with being okay with it because, you
Right.
know, I might not be okay with it. But that helps me to be like, just chill, mom, just chill. It's cool, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Parents always want to look out for their babies, man.
yeah,
Like those who are good parents, you care about your babies.
yeah,
And man, you have to, and I'm learning this more because, my oldest son is 22. Lord, about to be 23.
yep,
Wow. Wow. But he has autism, so him expressing emotions was different. Like he didn't understand, and as a parent who, autism was a new thing in society when he was born. It was like it was a lot of trial and error trying to understand emotions that he couldn't express with words.
yeah,
So that was a major thing. And
yeah,
then, after he was born, like 8 years later, my daughter was born. And now it's like I get to talk to this person and she can tell me what she thinks and feels, even though it may not make sense to me
yeah.
sometimes, you know. But is yeah, I don't even remember what we were talking about on the beginning, but yeah, it's just interesting the dichotomy of having a child with autism and having a child that's normal, whatever normal is. And you get to talk to them about things, and it's crazy how going back to the gaslighting, like how much like dealing with people and like familial situations, how gaslighting is unfortunately a major part of how we deal with people.
Yeah,
You know, close and close proximity, family, friends, romantic relationships, business relationships, and it's just like unfortunately we have a society built off of gaslighting each other
yeah,
to get
yeah.
a certain thing done, and it's really disgusting. It's really disgusting.
We want to remind you that please feel free to comment, ask questions on our show. That's part of the show. We're willing to um, have conversation with you, not just share information with you. So I just wanted to remind you of that. Um, you want to add anything else?
No, no, you go ahead.
Okay. So, in summary, gaslighting is a serious form of emotional abuse. But awareness and education are powerful tools for overcoming it. Remember, you deserve relationships built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Addressing gaslighting is essential for reclaiming your mental, emotional, and psychological health. It not only helps you heal, but also fortifies your overall well being, allowing you to thrive as your authentic self. You deserve clarity, peace, and empowerment. Standing up to gaslighting is a step toward all three of those: clarity, peace, and empowerment. So, failing to address gaslighting can have profound and far reaching consequences on an individual's mental, emotional, physical, and relational well being. Here are some of the potential outcomes in depth. So, declining health, declining mental health. If you don't address gaslighting, one of the things that can happen is you can decline in mental health, which you would be experiencing anxiety and depression, constant self doubt and confusion can lead to chronic anxiety and feelings of hopelessness. PTSD, prolonged exposure to gaslighting can result in trauma related symptoms such as flashbacks, hypervigilance, or emotional numbness. Loss of self trust. The erosion of confidence in one's thoughts and perceptions can make future decision making increasingly difficult. So, again, failure to address gaslighting can have one of the consequences can be declining mental health. Another one can be emotional breakdown. Feelings of worthlessness. Victims can internalize the manipulator's messages, leading to low self esteem. Emotional exhaustion. The stress of questioning your reality can lead to emotional burnout, leaving you drained and unable to cope with daily life. It's important to address gaslighting. So, another one, another effect of gaslighting or failing to address gaslighting is physical health consequences. So we know that stress is a thing that is caused by so many things, and so chronic stress symptoms can be part of the physical health consequences. So ongoing stress from gaslighting can manifest as headaches, insomnia, digestive issues, or weakened immunity. Also, cardiovascular risk. Stress related conditions like high blood pressure or heart problems may develop over time. So far, I've told you about three of the uh, failing to address gaslighting. One is declining mental health, emotional breakdown, and physical health consequences. So,
Yeah.
Jean, you want to do the next one, or you want me to go ahead? Number four.
I was gonna say one of the for me, two of the like the chronic stress symptoms are insomnia and digestive issues. Um, so we talked about via the phone like what I ate the other day, but I also had to think about the fact that, like a lot of the issues that I've been having digestively are stress related. Like, I had a visitation today, and at first it started off like subconscious. I didn't really think about the stress that I was feeling, and I didn't really like it wasn't like something in the forefront of my mind. But as we got closer and like the symptoms increased, it's like, is it just what I ate or is it stress included in that? Um, and again, like we, a lot of our issues are unprocessed. Like we don't have a conscious um relation to it. It's unconscious, subconscious, where
Yeah,
we are dealing with things that are bringing us down, and then you realize it on the back end, like, oh, this is part of why I'm feeling okay. So this is why my body's doing this. Why I can't sleep. Why I can't, I eat and I get nauseous, or maybe diarrhea. You know what I mean? Or maybe both.
yeah,
Yay! What fun! What fun is that? Or a weakened immune system where you like catch a cold real quick. Man, it's just it's with all the information that we're bringing to you, it may seem like some surface stuff, but this stuff really like taps into your deepest, like your cell memory and the way your body reacts to just regular stress. There may be things that you're dealing with gaslighting at home. You go to work and deal with, you know, it may be a situation of gaslighting or just like regular stresses of work, and then you flip out because you're dealing with something at home and you don't have that medium point where you're able to bring things back to a center because you're dealing with this at home, you're dealing with this at work, and it's just like, ah!
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then not only does it have to, is it necessarily outwardly, but it can be internally. Your body, your internal organs can be like having that chaotic moment or that chaotic existence where you can't process foods correctly, or you can't sleep well, or you're nauseous all the time, or you have a headache all the time. Unfortunately, I've experienced all of those things, and it's very true that, like, if you don't process, if you don't address, if you don't firmly address, you know, those situations of gaslighting, then it could overall take your life earlier than your life was supposed to be taken. Because
Yeah.
we all pass away, but who wants to pass away like in a state of what's the term I'm looking for? A state of, man, chaos, I guess is the best way I can think of it right now. Like you're always broken down. Who wants to live like that?
Yeah. Nobody. I mean, it's hard. Nobody should want to, but I mean,
Right,
it's hard to, I mean, if you don't know what to do about things like that, then you allow those things to continue and to worsen,
right,
because you didn't you didn't deal with the issue. You didn't deal
right,
with the root of the issue. Okay, I know this is what's happening to me, but why? What
right,
happened? What started this? What am I really feeling? Dealing with
right,
the truth of the matter.
right.
So you
Yep.
want to add anything else?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like having backed up bowels. Like the more you can excrete something that's like after your body has processed a certain thing, if you can't excrete it, then your body goes toxic
Yeah,
and it can kill you, goes septic,
yeah,
and it can literally kill you because you're holding in things that are toxic for you,
yeah,
and your body just absorbs the toxicity. So it's important to deal with the gaslighting immediately,
yeah,
immediately,
yeah,
so you don't have stored up trauma from the gaslighting.
yep.
Man.
Mark said we as people hold in too much toxicity. Yes, we do.
Yep, yep, yep. From dealing with people, from the foods that we eat, from, man, the environments that we're in, even the like in certain neighborhoods, you have a lot of power lines and stuff. That's not good for the human being. Like
Yeah,
that changes their cellular body. It changes the earth around them, changes the energy around them. And you can't be in a state of peace when you have constant electrical lines buzzing, causing cancer. Like there's communities like maybe 10, 15, 10, 12 minutes away from me where they have power lines and they have a water line that came from a chemical plant within that community where the people have an overabundance of cancer, mental health issues, ulcers, and things of that nature because of the toxicity in their community.
yeah,
And then that also causes people within the community to negatively interact with each other, which causes more trauma. So, I mean, it's trauma on trauma on trauma. It's a vicious cycle of trauma and toxicity.
yeah. Mark was saying sometimes our houses and apartments are toxic,
Yep,
and then he said have to watch out for that as well.
yep,
So true.
agreed.
And talking about relationships, number four, um, failing to address gaslighting is deterioration of relationships. So isolation, gaslighting often leads victims to withdraw from friends and family, leaving them feeling alone and unsupported. And then
Right.
toxic patterns without intervention, gaslighting dynamics can spread to other relationships, perpetuating abuse and mistrust.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
big.
Right.
You want to add anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like deterioration of relationships, it's akin to um like having trust issues. So you go into a relationship with trust issues already from a past experience. And then within the current relationship that you're in, you perpetuate the lack of trust because you don't trust. So now you do things that create a situation where now you further can't trust your partner because you push them to do certain things by your
Yeah,
actions, by being, you know, complaining a lot or being insecure a lot and things like that. And it pushes your partner to do certain things because that's what happens. Like we are energy beings. We have to realize that we are energetic beings, and the energy that you put out creates what. So, what is the scripture? What you sow, you shall reap.
yep,
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. You put, energy of not trusting, then you get a situation that further perpetuates why you should not trust.
yeah,
You attract that
exactly.
to yourself.
Yep,
You attract that to yourself. So the more that we are able to address things and put them in a light or energy that gives us what we want as opposed to what we don't want, you create a better environment for yourself and the world around you. So you have to address gaslighting. You have
yeah,
to address it. You have to address those things that make you feel less than and be like, hey, I'm way more worthy than what you're giving me,
yeah,
and just and operate from there.
yeah. And that goes back to the self care thing,
Right,
self care and
right,
self focus.
right.
So it's not all about me, 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 but it's about learning how to deal with situations about you so that you can draw that same thing to you.
Yeah.
Um,
And you got to fill yourself up first.
yeah. So you want to do the next one or you want me to do it?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so number five is loss of identity, confusion about who you are. Gaslighting can distort your sense of self, values, and purpose, leaving you feeling disconnected from your identity. And it also increases your dependency on the manipulator. Victims may become overly reliant on the gaslighter for validation, decision making, further deepening the cycle of control. You never want to trust the gaslighter. Once you realize that they gaslight you, you want to make sure that you tune into yourself and be like, yo, I know this is what I did, and this is my intention. You can't let someone tell you, I dealt with it today. A person trying to tell you what your intentions or your feelings or your thoughts were. You can't tell me that. You don't hold residence in my head and in my heart. You don't know unless I tell you. You
Yeah,
can say that my actions, you can say that my actions show you X, Y, Z, but that's based off of your skewed perspective.
right.
It all depends on the feedback that you've been given by yourself and outside sources. But you can't determine for me what I think, what I feel, or what I intend. You can only take my word for it.
Yep.
So,
So I want to finish these. Uh,
gotcha,
Thanks for sharing that. So we only have four more, and I want to finish them.
gotcha.
You want to do number six?
All right. Yeah. So next is career and professional impact. It reduces confidence in the workplace. Gaslighting can hinder performance and prevent victims from advocating for themselves. It can also cause burnout and job loss. The stress of navigating manipulation can lead to disengagement, decreased productivity, or even leaving a job altogether. Number seven is intergenerational effects. Modeling harmful behavior. If, if unaddressed, gaslighting behaviors can be passed on to future generations or normalized in family dynamics. Man. I'm gonna say that one more time because I feel like that's majorly important. So, not addressing gaslighting can cause intergenerational effects. Modeling harmful behaviors. If unaddressed, gaslighting behaviors can be passed on to future generations or normalized in family dynamics. Man, perpetuating trauma. Victims may unconsciously adopt similar patterns, perpetuating cycles of manipulation in their own relationships. You already know I'm dealing with that.
Yep.
So yeah, man, man. Number
And that's
8.
sad.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah,
No, I
it's
just
very
said
sad.
that's sad, but go ahead.
Right,
It's true,
right.
but sad.
Unaddressed, you will repeat the same cycles. That's why we
Yep.
have to we have to be cognizant of our cycles that our families perpetuate, and
Yep.
then be conscious and cognizant enough to change them. Number 8, hindrance to personal growth. Inability to heal. Without confronting gaslighting, victims may remain stuck in a state of confusion and self doubt, unable to move forward. Also, it creates missed opportunities. Fear of making mistakes and trusting others can prevent victims from pursuing goals or new relationships. Number 9 is cultural and social impact. Normalization of manipulation. Again, this is a normal part of our culture.
Yeah.
When gaslighting is unchecked, it fosters a culture where manipulation is tolerated, enabling further abuse. And not only tolerated, sometimes it's encouraged.
Yep.
Lack of awareness. Without addressing the issue, others may not recognize or understand the signs, perpetuating cycles of harm. And number 10, increased risk of escalation, worsening abuse. Gaslighting is often a precursor to more severe forms of emotional, verbal, or physical abuse. Entrapment. The longer gaslighting goes unchallenged, the harder it can become to leave or address the manipulative relationship. You want to do the in summary?
Yeah. In summary, ignoring gaslighting allows it to continue unchecked. Deepening its psychological and emotional harm, it can compromise every aspect of a person's life, from their sense of self to their physical health and relationships. Addressing gaslighting is not just about stopping manipulation, it's about reclaiming your truth, your power, and your well being. Your reality matters, your voice matters, and you deserve to live free from manipulation. Confronting gaslighting is a vital step toward healing and thriving. And so next week, when we come back, we'll be talking about more reasons of what could happen if gaslighting is not addressed. Um, this will, you want to share any last words or give any last tips?
Just again, stay aware of gaslighting. It's unfortunate, but we have to stay very vigilant about how we deal with people. Because if you don't stay vigilant and stay aware, people will use and manipulate you because it's your easy prey when you're not paying attention. So just be vigilant. Um, and first and foremost, love yourself,
Yep,
however that shows up.
yep, I concur. um, Make sure you can go back and rewatch the replay. But these things are very important to help you to be able to deal with gaslighting and to give you more knowledge about it. Um, and then, the tips that we share are things that we experience, are things that we are aware of. And so we share those things too. So don't be okay with somebody gaslighting you and not saying anything. You have to speak up.
Yep.
And you have to have a support system. If you don't have a
Yes.
support system, then that keeps you in a place of weakness, because you don't have anybody to talk to. So you're dealing with all of these thoughts and things alone, and that helps you to crumble and not to become a strong person, because you really don't have anybody to bounce stuff back
Right.
off of, to help you and to help you gain your footage again. So it's important to recognize what you're going through, acknowledge that it is a real thing. I'm being a gaslighter, or I'm being gaslit, and this is not a thing. So here's what I'm about to do. And not
Right.
really like that, but but like that.
Synopsis. That's synopsis. That was the synopsis.
Yeah. So we want to say thank you for tuning in to Where is the Love with us. And we just want to say take care, peace, sending you peace, sending you love. Take care. Bye for now. See you next week, same place, same time.